on, my phone got too hot in the sun and disconnected. But it seemed like some of you were interested in...
Well, here's a drone. So that's the male. You can see he's a lot bigger than a worker. They've got big eyes. They can't sting. And then these are the females, the workers, but they're not really reproductive. Only the queen is laying eggs in a healthy hive. But she can lay fertilized eggs, which would be female and be the worker. And they could be either worker or a queen, but based on diet is what would determine that. Or she can lay an unfertilized egg, and that would be a male, and that would be the boy. And I don't know, I guess a little bit of nectar and some pollen in this frame. You see this bee here has pollen on her legs.
And this time of year, what kind of pollen?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Not sure what kind of pollen that would be, but I think we're getting a lot of pollen comes from clover. But yellow, there's a lot of yellow pollen, so I'd be just a guess if I said something. So it's fun to just kind of look at the bees and see, maybe you might see a waggle dance or something, but I'm not seeing any. But this is all bee bread here. So that's pollen that they mix with nectar, and then it goes under some fermentation process, and that kind of helps it store better for the bees. Maybe makes it more nutritious for them.
Bee bread is food for the honeybees.
Right, so the honeybees will collect both pollen and nectar, and bee bread, younger nurse bees will eat bee bread, and then their glands develop and they're able to feed the larva glandular secretion, but it's all the kind of the protein from the bee bread that gets transferred.
And bee bread is a combination of pollen and nectar.
Right.
So bees need to survive.
Right.
They can't live off of just...
No, so pollen would be the protein.
How far will they travel to collect pollen?
Well, it all depends. So I think an average foraging range is probably like a 1.5 mile radius around the hive. I think that's probably like pretty adequate, or miles. A lot of people would say that number. And that's certainly possible that they could fly that far. And I think there's reports of them flying 7 miles and 11 miles, but that is under extreme conditions. And it's not necessarily worth getting one load of nectar if you have to fly 11 miles to get it. 6 miles. Generally, they forage in the general area, I think, right close to that. But that's just kind of a guess of what I've picked up over the years. Most important things that a beekeeper wears is a veil. Head is not really that fun, so having some protection is a good idea. But like I said before, the bees really are more gentle than you might think. They don't really care if I'm here or not, if I'm behaving gentle man. This is very important. If I didn't have this now trying to get these frames out, it would be very difficult to get them out. But with the pry bar, it's pretty easy. That's because the propolis really glues them in place. And the smoker is also very important. Alright, I went over that, but that's, well, I didn't tell you.
What's in the smoker?
The smoker's filled with straw and hardwood pellets, like a pellet stove. And that lasts pretty good. So Lorenzo Langstroth designed this hive. Will not volunteer a sting. I think I like that quote a lot. So again, it goes back to the Thanksgiving effect that I talked about earlier. Like with the smoke, they enjoy some honey.
Can the drones, the male honeybees, sting?
No. No, they can't.
Can the queen sting?
She can, and here she is.
Ooh, that's a rare treat. Oh, she's not marked.
Well, she was marked, but came off, I think.
So how do you know it's the queen?
So the queen looks pretty much like a worker bee, except her thorax is generally that big black shiny disc. And so she's that's a good giveaway, that big black thorax. And then the abdomen is a lot longer than a worker bee. So that's pretty great. You don't always get to see the queen, but it's nice when you do. I like to have a couple objectives when I open the hive. I want to see, am I queen right? Is the queen there and laying eggs? So check. You saw her, that's great. You don't always have to see her, but if you see eggs, then that's just as good. So we know we're queen right. We saw a little bit of stuff that wasn't so healthy looking, so that is good to know. And then, are there enough, if a colony gets too weak, then it can be so this looks like it's got a good population, so that's good. I'm happy to see that. Okay, so we figured out what's going on in this hive, right? We saw the queen, we saw some honey, we saw some happy, and I hope you guys are too. I'm going to put this hive back together. And
Everyone for joining us. Can people contact you for questions, Beekeeper Jeff?
So my website is instarapiaries.com.
Instar Apiaries.
So if you guys want to check that out, my contact, shoot me an email or give me a call and we can talk bees.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.